St. Petersburg Together. I'm your host, Janis Ford. The St. Petersburg chapter of the NAACP is getting ready for a big annual event. Here to tell us about the 2013 Freedom Fund Gala is Chapter President Manuel Sykes and Colonel Kevin George, banquet chairperson.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Welcome, and thank you for coming and telling us about this great event that you have every year.
I'm delighted to do so.
So why don't we start off with you, Pastor Sykes, and telling us what is the NAACP and this a brief history, if you will.
Oh, the history of the NAACP. We're an older organization, the oldest of any other civil rights organization in America. Mm-hmm. The slogan we like to use is that we're the oldest, boldest, most loved, most hated civil rights organization in the nation. And and we continue our work through so many of the vicissitudes and changes that has occurred in America, from overt racism, strict white-black color line, to now inclusive of all of the various facets of oppression: economic, education, public safety, immigration, healthcare. Our tentacles are everywhere. And at the heart of it is our desire for equality and equity for all Americans, and specifically those that are minorities.
Now, you have been the president how long?
I'm in the first year of my second term, so it's a total of 3 years.
Okay. Colonel George, is that retired military?
That's retired military.
Okay. What branch?
Army.
Army, okay. This year's NAACP annual banquet, tell me when, where, and the cost.
The banquet will be held at St. Petersburg Coliseum on 2nd of November from 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock.
4 o'clock?
4 o'clock to 7 o'clock, we will have Las Vegas gambling.
Oh, okay.
We should say gaming.
Okay.
So we'll have blackjacks, we'll have all of the normal things that you would find at any one of the casinos.
Oh, and that's, you're using...
And the tickets are $65.
Okay, and tell me a little bit more about this gaming.
So what we wanted to do this year was to try to do something a little different to address some of the things that the community asked for. So what we did was we went out and we contracted with a gaming company, and we're going to provide, again, the blackjacks, the casino slot machines, and all of those types of things upstairs in the casino from 4 to 7. People are welcome to come out. The prize money that you will win from the gaming will be used later in the evening to purchase the items that we have up for the live auction.
Oh, okay. So it's a live auction.
Yes.
What
live
type of
auction.
things will you have for this live auction?
We have right now we have 5 trips to the Bahamas, cruise ships. We have a condo for a week, and we're looking at other things that we need to get.
That condo for a week, is that in the
Redington Beach.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So it's not in the Bahamas.
No, it's not in the Bahamas, but it's in Redington Beach, yeah. It's local.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's a good thing, too.
Yeah.
Okay. Reverend Sykes, tell me about this year's theme and why.
This year's theme, We Should Not Be Moved, pays tribute to, again, longevity. While there are other organizations that have, come up over the years to join us in the struggle or to have their own place in the struggle, we pay tribute to the fact that we've been around more than 100 years. We also recognize those other organizations, churches and fraternities and so forth, that have been around for 100 years as well, because the continuity speaks to our values, to the real true foundation of what we're doing. It's not a fly-by-night organization, and these organizations, we're sort of sisters and brothers. We're almost twins from the same womb because of our our comparative ages. And so this is a pause to recognize the history, the evolution of these various institutions, and we're doing that locally. Now, it is the national theme, because as you can clearly see, we're still struggling. Many of the things that were very open and insidious have now transformed, but they are even more insidious. And we have to recognize that our struggle is not over. And sometimes getting oneself to be motivated for the future is looking into the past and seeing that we're still here and we will not be moved. We will not disengage. We will not be tired. And so to America, to the world, they need to know that our presence has been here 100 years.
And we're not going anywhere.
And we're not going anywhere.
Okay. I know that every year you all have honorees.
Yes.
Colonel, you want to tell me about this year's honorees?
I will talk about the Divine Nine, and then we
Yes.
will talk about, do we want to mention the community honorees?
Absolutely.
And then
Absolutely.
let me just,
Do they know they're going to be honored, though?
Yes.
Okay.
so this year, our theme, just to piggyback off of what Reverend Sykes mentioned earlier, we wanted to pay tribute to certain organizations that have been around for 100 years, that have provided those type of services to our community, both on the local and to the national level. So what we did was we looked at the Divine Nine. The Divine Nine are the 9 Greek black fraternities and sororities.
I was wondering.
So the Divine Nine came about in the early 1900s when the Greek fraternities and sororities were formed to address the racial, social, and economic differences we had across the country and on different campuses and universities. It came about to provide the students with an opportunity to have some type of social interaction from the professional level on some of these campuses, like Cornell University, Indiana University. We only had a few black students there. So it was that way of giving them or providing them an opportunity to socialize both on the professional level. It also provided an opportunity, once they graduated, an opportunity for them to network on the professional and social level, hence where we are now 100 years later. So what I wanted to do was to mention the Divine Nine. I'll start off with Alpha Kappa Alpha fraternity, sorority, I should say, Howard University in 1908. Delta Sigma Theta, Howard University in 1913. Zeta Phi Beta, Howard University, 1920. Sigma Gamma Rho, Butler University in 1922. Now going on to the fraternities, Alpha Phi Alpha, Cornell University, 1906. That was our first Greek letter organization. Kappa Alpha Psi, Indiana University, 1911. Omega Psi Phi, Howard University, 1911. Phi Beta Sigma, Howard University, 1914. And Iota Phi Psi Phi, Morgan State University, 1963. Wow. Those are the 9 Greek letter fraternities and sororities that we will recognize on the 2nd of November.
Oh, okay. Now, are you yourself a member of
I'm
any?
a member of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity.
I'm not a member of the traditional. My organization predates. These are our children. However, on my end, we're honoring 5 churches that are 100 years old.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you
Yes,
about that.
we're honoring New Mount Olive, New Hope, Bethel Metropolitan, Bethel AME, and First Baptist Institutional.
Okay.
And each of those churches are 100 years old. We're going to have for each of our organizations a brief video display as we talk about their history and interview. There'll be pre-taped interviews of their pastors and maybe some of their members so that the community will be able to see their evolution and their accomplishments. Then additionally, we have some internal awards that we present every year. And one of them will be a humanitarian award, which is the very first time, and it's Colonel George's brainchild.
Oh, okay.
And we're honoring Brittany Gordon. the young lady who, the daughter of
Cedric's
Cedric and
daughter.
Brenda Gordon, who lost her life not very long ago. We're honoring David Welch for his role in politics. We're honoring Johnny Mack as a longtime community worker. We're honoring Bill Edwards. His company has had extensive community work and a commitment to diversity. And then we have a President's Award that we're going to be giving out to a person that has been a stalwart NAACP member. And so those persons also will speak a little bit about their lives and what they've offered to the community over these past decades. And it's unfortunate that some of them are being awarded posthumously, but still we believe very strongly that their commitment and their legacy needs to be recognized, along with all of these other groups whose longevity is being celebrated.
Well, that's not unusual for people to be honored, postmortem like that. But getting back to the churches that you're going to honor, and you said that you're doing interviews with the pastors of those churches, and you're doing a videography, and it will be showing that evening. You have
Yes.
screens that you're going to be showing that on.
Yes,
Okay.
we're partnering with USF.
Oh, okay.
For part of it. So they'll be taking care of the Greek organizations, and then one of the local videographers and photographers is going to work with us on the church videos, and to some degree, to the extent possible, with the lives of the individuals being honored.
Well, I know all of these people that you're going to be honoring, and it's well worth it. They do great. They've done a great job, and they're continuing to do a great
And
job.
I failed to mention Verl Davis for education.
Okay.
Yes.
We can't leave Earl out.
Oh yeah, Jesse
Jesse
Wells.
Wells.
She's getting the President's Award.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might add also, we will recognize each one of the Greek fraternities and sororities by interviewing them, and they'll get a chance to talk about their community service. I would just say that there's one common bond that we have among the Divine Nine, and that's service above self. So we provide that service. That's what we do in the community above anything. That's our driven mission.
I do know that they do get involved in a lot of community
Right.
activities. As a matter of fact, the Deltas was just out and participating in the Care Fest on the 28th of September. So, and I know that they're heavily involved in that every year.
Scholarships every year, community service every year. Anything that we can get involved in, we do. We have different organizations who have what we call the guys and the girls, and it's just too numerous to talk about, but they have these organizations for the high school kids, elementary school kids, and they bring them up and try to give them those values, so when they reach college, they have those values to go on.
Now, what kind of activities? I know that we probably talked about some of them, but what other activities can we expect from this gala this year?
Well, of course, good food.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You
We
have a
also-
caterer?
Yes, we do have a caterer.
Okay.
Cleo Hart is going to be providing jazz entertainment.
Okay.
Denise White, Channel 13, is going to be our mistress of ceremony.
Oh, okay.
Michelle Ligon is going to be one of our presenters. And in lieu of our speaker, which is traditional, we're going to highlight the videos of those organizations. I'll give some summary comments about the purpose and so forth, but I'm not the speaker, the designated
But you do
speaker.
that so well.
Well, I pinch in, and I'm free.
Budget.
Okay. I definitely understand that. I definitely understand that.
What we wanted to do was to frame this thing in such a way that we provided some type of different, a different look at this thing this year by providing the gaming, then moving into what we think is a portion of this that we recognize those organizations, the churches, and then Brittany Gordon for the service and everything that falls in line with our theme. And then we'll go into our dinner and the awards. From there, we will have the pastor to sum up the evening, and then we'll have the live auction of all of the items that we'll have up.
One of the things that also is that we'll have a captain's. You want to explain that, how that works?
What I wanted to do was to try to come up with a theme so we can have it dressed for that evening, and it's Captain's Night. So we'll have, I won't give away the theme. I mean, you walk in, it's going to be dressed, it's going to be nice. But what we wanted to do, again, was to do something a little different than what we've done before. And so the Captain's Night is like being on a cruise ship. And we'll have the bell, we have the captain's uniform, and all of our workers will be dressed in black tuxedos, white gloves.
Whoa.
And I think that's all I'm going to give right now.
That's all you're going to give away?
That's all I give away.
Now, all of this happening
$65 buy a ticket to see us.
Come out and see the rest.
See the
Okay.
rest, yes.
So give us that time, place, cost again.
The time is from 4 to 7 for gaming. The actual night begins at 7:30. To 10 o'clock at the Coliseum, St. Petersburg Coliseum. The tickets are $65.
Okay. And the date again?
The date is 2nd of November. I should say November the 2nd. I keep thinking about my military thing, 2nd of November, but it's November the 2nd, yes.
One last thing is that I want to say we're a nonprofit. We are totally self-supporting. Our branch is open Monday through Friday. We do not receive governmental assistance or any other thing. And yet, we're open every day. We're inundated with various requests for help. And what we're asking in this event is for the community to help us. This is our once a year primary fundraiser. We're one of the few NAACPs that have their own building. And so for that reason, and the numerous people that we've helped, along with the organizations that understand what we do, the businesses that we help to promote, and those that are, part of this community, large businesses that employ our constituency, this is their time to help us, do what we do on a natural level, because justice is not free.
It's not.
They say freedom is not free, justice is not free either. So we're asking all of our constituency to help us to make this a great event and a profitable event.
Now, if someone wanted, they're watching this and they are wanting to become a member, who do they contact? Where?
You can come to the office any day between 9 and 1, but you can also register on our website. You can register and pay. We get the receipts. We send you an acknowledgement, and it goes to national. Your card is mailed. And, it's also a way of helping us because a portion of the proceeds are sent to the national office and a portion remains in the local branch.
Now, are there different levels that you can join on?
Yes.
Okay.
The individual level is $30 a year. And then we go from bronze to silver to gold and diamond life members. And so the bronze membership is $750, the silver is $1,000, and it moves up. But here's how it works. You can pay it in 10 installments over 10 years. So it's roughly $75 a year if you're doing the bronze membership. So it's, it's designed not to be overly costly. And then you have corporate memberships that are $5,000. And so it's designed for everybody to be a part of the NAACP, individual and organizationally. And so that's what we're hoping we'll be able to get across to the public, because eventually you'll need the NAACP.
Now, you mentioned your website. What is that?
It is NAACP St. Pete.org. NAACP St. Pete.org.
Okay. Colonel, you wanted to add something?
A couple of things. Tickets could be picked up or purchased at the St. Pete office. Up until the November the 2nd, I'm there usually between 9 and 9 working issues. So you could purchase tickets there. You can also purchase tickets at the Coliseum from 10 to 5.
And give us the address of your office.
1501 16th Street South. Just one other thing, forgot to mention the vendors. We will have vendors there for Greek fraternities and sororities. We also will have a couple of vendors that will display art
Oh, okay.
at the event.
So you will have an opportunity to purchase.
You have opportunity to purchase articles from the vendors. Also, art will be on sale.
Oh, okay. Reverend Sykes, tell me about some of the activities that you have coming up this year. What can we expect from the NAACP in 2014?
The first and most pressing thing is the healthcare initiative.
Yes.
We are going to be one of several organizations that are getting the truth out to let the community know that the Affordable Care Act is real, it's available, and that its success depends on everyone signing up. The jargon that's out there, the disinformation that is more expensive, that is putting business out of business. What we want them to understand is that the more of us that sign up, the better for this particular law. And what we're trying
it is
to
a law.
Yes, what we're trying to impose on Congress is that it is a law that the American people voted for when they voted for the president. And so this idea of trying to defund it, the idea of trying to, it has already stood up to Supreme Court discussion and approval. So it is a law. And what we want the public to know, if your job refuses to offer it, sign up. And there's been some attempt to block navigators and grants that the persons that are paid to go out. So we're going to take that responsibility along with other organizations. In fact, later on this month, our plan is to have a town hall to give that information, from a medical group that's here, doing this locally. And then secondly, we're going to continue to work on voter registration. Part of the problem in Congress and in our own state Senate and legislature is that in 2010, we stayed home. We believe that President Obama was the symbol of our hopes and dreams. What Americans fail to realize is that without the Congress and the Senate, that it's very difficult for the president or the governor, for that matter, to get anything done.
Right.
And so there needs to be a shift so that the persons that are sitting in those seats have the good of the country at heart. Whether we agree or disagree on policies, ideologies, we need those persons we elect to vote in service to the people who elected them, and not to tie up this country in partisanism and in support of lobbyists. As you know, the Supreme Court is hearing right now the MacIver case, where a billionaire is attempting to sue the Federal Trade Commission about the maximum donation that individuals can give to a candidacy. Now, they've already circumvented it with the political action committees, but now they're pushing to allow individuals to give as much as they want, up to 3 million plus, which means then that the voices of the common person who cannot pay a politician for his or her ear are going to be put at a further disadvantage. So what we're saying is we need to register to vote. We're continuing to fight against voter suppression. And then thirdly, we're pushing in the area of economics. Our goal is to fight the good fight. Here locally, Agenda 2020 is trying to bring about equality and equity by creating a CRA district in Midtown. The CRA that was designated for downtown has created multi-million-dollar change, jobs, businesses, housing, condos, and that took place while the African American community continued to be ignored. So we're shining a light on that. We're going to city council, the county commission. We're saying in no uncertain terms, it's time to level the playing fields. In addition to that, the community block development grant funds that are awarded by the federal government in response to the demographics of poor communities has not been spent. It has not been returned to the areas that whose statistics make that possible. We're going to fight that until they begin to sow those seeds, not in islands and palm trees and red lights, but into real economic development, both for indigenous businesses and in businesses that are recruited to that area.
Okay, so those are some of the focuses that you're going to be doing in 2014. Well, we look forward to that. And again, tell us the date, time, place. We only got a few more minutes.
The date is November the 2nd, from 4 to 7 for Las Vegas Gaming, from 7:30 to 10 for the main event. It will be held at the St. Petersburg Coliseum, and the tickets are $65. Tickets could be purchased at the Coliseum from 10 to 5 and from 9 to 5 at the St. Petersburg office of the NAACP, which is located at 1501 16th Street South.
Okay.
And I'm working on my card tricks, so I might be a blackjack dealer.
Well, I know to stay away from that table.
I will tell you that this is going to be a little different than anything that we've done. It's a very exciting night, so we're hoping that everyone will come out and support us.
Okay, and if there's folks out there who want to join the NAACP,
please come by 9 to 1 every day, 1501 16th Street South, or go online at our site, naacpstpete.org, and you can register and pay online.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you both for joining us. Here is the information about the Freedom Fund Gala. I'm Janis Ford. Thanks for watching St. Petersburg Together. See you again next time.
Thank you.